low, and then like.
Cool.
And like, you can't do this over the same thing. So, that's why it doesn't have to. Is it wrong? I still don't try, but it's not that bad. Wait, who's on this? Yes, it's for. Like a younger version. That's just basically.
What did you say for
So
G
what's
minus
the
one?
speed one? It's not really smooth. It's I'm kidding, if I get a gym membership, if I get a gym membership, I want to use different gym. Do you wanna get it?
So Emma, how do we do these?
Those.
Yeah. When A is greater than 1, what's it gonna look like in quadrant 1?
Oh, for the first one.
Just in general, to be able to answer these, the first question is A bigger than 1, less, between 0 and 1, or less than 0?
It's, between 0 and 1.
So, for this particular, yes, but for all of them, if y equals x to what number do you know very well what it looks like? X to the something power that's bigger than 1.
Squared.
Squared. So what does y equals x squared look like in quadrant 1?
Like,
The happy face, okay, yes. So that's what I was looking for. For if the exponent is bigger than 1, it's gonna look like that. Clara, if the exponent is between 0 and 1, what is it gonna look like in quadrant 1? Like a square root. So she just did this swoop. And if it's less than 1, it's gonna look kind of like that rational function. Like this. All right. So, with that, first thing, Emma said the first question, that's between 0 and 1. So Emery, what's it gonna look like in quadrant 1?
Like that.
Like the top?
Yeah. Or for which question? That one?
The one that's underlined in red.
Between 0 and 1.
It's gonna
So
look like
seagull.
the square root.
Yeah, the seagull.
Okay, I don't know that it has the other half of the seagull yet. I need to check the next thing. So Kira, putting in -1 into this. -1 squared, then to the 1/3. What is -1 squared? 1. Positive 1. All right. Valentina, what is 1 to the 1/3?
1.
1. Okay, so that's a 1. So Alex, what does that mean? Do I have the other wing of the seagull, or does it have a like snake tail, or is it just done?
It's just done. It's
Just done?
So,
Oh, 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 they're making noises. Nava?
It has the other thing.
Okay, so the coordinate -1, +1 is there. -1, +1, make that coordinate and draw it. So that the coordinate existed, draw it where you found it. -1, 1, okay, there's the other wing. Now that we have that, stating the domain should be easy. Cherry, what is the domain?
The domain is -infinity to infinity.
All the numbers, -infinity to infinity. Jenna, what is the range?
0 bracket infinity.
So square bracket 0 to infinity. Do you guys agree? Does it hit 0?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Okay? Isaac, this is left-hand behavior. As x goes to -infinity, what's the y value doing? Positive infinity or negative? Positive. So if you can get the picture drawn, the rest of these questions should be easy. Ciela, the one in the middle, x to the 5/3, is that exponent bigger than 0, so it's gonna look like this, between 0 and 1, so it's gonna look like the square root, or less than 0.
Greater than 1.
Greater than 1, so it's gonna, in quadrant 1, look kinda like that. Okay, so Jack, -1, we're gonna plug in -1 to the 5th, and then do to the 1/3. What is -1 to the 5th? -1. What is -1 to the 1/3? It is also -1. That's the hard thing. Because -1 times itself 3 times is -1, so it is -1. Okay? So, do we have the other side of the happy face? Does it have a tail, or is it just done? It's got a tail, because the coordinate -1 is on it, so it's gonna do that. So, Martha, what's the domain? Sophie, what's the range? Louisa, what is the left end behavior? It's on your paper too. As x goes to -infinity, where's the y value look like it's going? The y value? Yep, to -infinity. So Maud, you have these filled out and done? Yeah, cool. Can you tell us the next one then?
It's just like half the parabola.
It's just half a parabola? Well, the exponent is bigger than 1, so it's half a parabola. Putting in -1 to the 3rd is what?
-1.
Okay, then the square root of -1, does not exist. So she said from the beginning, it's just half a parabola, it doesn't have the other side. Why doesn't it have the other side? Because I can't do an even root of -1. All right, so Emmanuel, looking at it, what's the domain? What are all the x values I can put in there? Is it all reals? It's everywhere that the y values exist. So here, y values were there the whole time. This one, no y values. Where do they start? Emery's trying to tell you. Okay? Does it include 0? Can I do the square root of 0? Does 0 times itself equal 0? So does it include 0? Sure does. Ahmed, what's the range?
0 to 30.
Including 0 or not?
Yes.
Okay, left end behavior, Brianna?
Does not exist.
Does not exist, doesn't have a left end. There is a left end of this graph, but left end behavior is when x is -infinity. Questions? This is topic 2, and I evidently never handed back the exit cards that we had on this in 3rd period, and they were like, when did we do this? Like, this is your handwriting, right? Like, they didn't remember it at all. Okay, these guys, the bottom 3 are all negative. So what is it gonna look like in quadrant 1 for all of them? Yep, all of you are doing the air draw.
Just.
Okay. So, what's the problem? Testing the -1, what do I get in the first one? So, 1 over x to the 4/5. It's -1 to the 4th. Positive 1, okay. So what is positive 1 to the 1/5? 1. Okay. So, does it have a left side or not?
No.
There's a coordinate, -1, 1 exists.
Oh.
So, it does exist. What's it gonna do?
reflect over the y-axis.
Reflect over the y-axis. Ooh, I'd say language, yes, exactly that. What's the domain?
Negative infinity to 0.
Okay. Everybody except 0. Sorry, 0, you're not invited. Conchetta, what's the range?
Bracket 0.
Square bracket to infinity?
Yeah.
Round. Never gets to the 0. What's the left end behavior, Ciela?
No. Stop. Just like this.
As x goes to super negative infinity,
Oh, that's negative infinity.
where does the y value go? 0. So, some of you are suffering from concept dyslexia, like trading x and y, or trading, like, look at it, you know, y value, the y value is leveling off to where? To 0. Okay, Jack, putting in the -1 here, x to the -5/3.
That's 1.
-1 to the 5th is -1. -1 to the 1/3, is it positive or negative?
Sounds
Negative. So what's that one gonna look like? So, it's funny, you guys are like, it's does this kind of swoop down here. What's the domain?
Negative infinity to 0. Same as the last.
And it says, same as the last. What's the range?
Negative infinity to 0 to 0.
Same thing. Okay? Left end behavior?
0.
0. Okay, the next one. Alex, what do you think? Putting in -1 to the 3rd. What's -1 to the 3rd?
-1.
-1. And what is the square root of -1?
Does not exist.
Does not exist, we pulled that earlier. So, what's the other side of my graph? Don't have one. Okay, so then, Clara, what's the domain of this one?
0 to infinity.
Square bracket or round?
Round.
Round, because it doesn't hit the 0. Kira, what's the range?
0 to infinity.
Not a trick question, what's the left end behavior?
Does not exist.
Does not exist. Okay. You guys feel a little refreshed, reminded, remembered?
So,
That's just Tuesday. Oops. So, I would like you guys in your group to agree on these properties, and I would like you to put up group 1, 2, 3.
all right, 5.
And hang on, group 10, I just want you to graph pieces, like the asymptotes and the intercepts.
There's no I got it.
This one? Wait. Oh, now?
Right.
Oh. There's no 11.
Oh, and the next one. Oh, shoot. Alright.
Number 1.
I know my name.
Did you just make the, Or rate, of course.
So we,
It's definitely on.
sort of slant.
Wait,
We're doing,
What's wrong? It's not.
for, take the remaining factors in the denominator. This is what function set.
Wait, is it still one half?
Yeah. Let's go.
How can that work? Good job.
Why should you be
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, I was doing spread, I was doing like, oh, I see. Is it a slant?
Okay, let's do points.
Are you actually?
I don't think so. This isn't wrong, bro. I think it's a cat job.
Sorry. Already put it on.
Whatever I put the number next to, your group was supposed to put up.
I got 19.5. Oh, I mean, that's back hard. I just pressed up one sum, and I got half an hour.
Y equals 0 for the mobile asset, right? Or is it vertical? No, horizontal.
Are you walking on that? Friday? We want them all week. I'm off at 8. Is he going to start with 3 times today? No, actually, I'm not done with 12. I did it more than, I did, when I got started 3 times. That's overkill. I have my card declined. I tried to get more on my card. Wait, my card declined? Oh my gosh, I bought some better
So I didn't ask you guys to grab
I got
how much
sick
of
of
that.
I my mom will tell you, I think it's really good. So I just like 0.
Yeah, no, it's so scripted.
Big Bob's somehow gonna get a knockout.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done.
So you can write on the right-hand side at the same time.
100%. I mean, like, I might as well just drop like $100 on in front of it. That's what I was wondering too. But I like to look at that. Like, oh, so much money.
For the second one?
Oh, God. Made like 1,200 back in that. Well, what we did is, it was like,
Oh,
we found
I think I know what you did.
was it
You did the
power
hockey,
play?
the hockey, yeah.
Hockey power play, my friend dropped $6,000.
You got that.
Yeah, I got that.
Here's a graph.
Those were days. We went to the
I
bathroom.
forgot who it was a senior from last week, Noah.
Noah Brown. Yeah.
I knew that from
What a guy.
No.
He's in college now, so he's still even worse. That's not good. That is not good. Not that bad. Not that bad. That's about 25%. Not that bad.
Sorry, I was an engineer. I'm not done.
Is she actually complaining?
I just have a question. He's like, that's a corn off.
calculus and show me stuff, and then, like, make 3 left turns and you turned right, but it doesn't mean that that was the right way to go. Right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I could have just worked hard though.
But I feel like, okay, if we're using like a direction analogy, like you're gonna get to your destination regardless, right?
Okay. So Alistair, 16 divided by 64 is 1/4, yeah? Can I just cross out the 6's and
No.
say,
No.
so you show work?
Yeah, okay,
If
alright,
that's
that's
the
valid.
work you
Valid,
show,
valid, valid.
that work gets no credit, honey.
Okay.
Because
But I
if
feel
you,
like-
if you demonstrate, as a matter of fact,
Shit, it
I do
works.
not understand how math works, just because you lucked into the right answer, no.
Has someone done that though? Like, I feel like that's like,
I learned this.
that's like,
I learned this example in grad school, go with Cornell.
really?
Yeah. I was like, say what?
It's a me type move.
Yeah, I would do something like that and then. I
Don't,
wouldn't, but like,
like,
Maybe they were just
science.
doing it for fun though.
yeah, I feel
Right,
like I
right,
would
I mean-
just troll.
Yeah,
Yes.
like trying to show you like a cool like little trick.
Yeah.
that, like,
It's not a trick.
It's
not a
not.
trick. Don't
It's
do
not
that.
the right way to do it, but it works.
It's for,
Yeah, I literally
specifically
did
for
mental
16
math on
out,
my paper,
over
though.
64?
You didn't do mental math on your paper. What you showed on your paper was, I multiplied this one by 5, this one by 3, and this one by nothing, and they happened to all work out. Like, what you showed
That's not mental math,
is,
that's
oh,
wrong.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Like a
I
19.
didn't see her, so she should shut up. Yeah.
I know, bro. She complained. She got a fucking 19.
Yeah, just feel like that, bro.
Like
You
it's
are
just
being
like
recorded,
be
sir.
freaking.
Stinky
Since
poo.
when?
No way.
Where was my consent?
What do you mean?
Recording the lesson.
Alistair, she's recording every single class.
Yeah, I know.
Say you swear.
Every
was-
single
where was our
class.
consent?
she has
With audio?
recorded. Yes.
Just audio. I think it's
Yo, that's federal as hell, bro.
I think it's just
She told
audio.
us.
Okay.
They don't know what I'm talking
Is
about.
it just audio?
It's audio, I mean, yeah, audio, where's the
Okay.
visual, bro?
I don't know. Maybe she has a camera on the ceiling. It's just audio. How would I know?
Okay, happy as you join, people.
That's looking so.
Problem 1 here. Does the numerator factor?
You're going to jail.
She really not need like a consent form for that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not pressed.
No, I think it's only visual, because I had to do that last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Last year you had to like take a whole
You did it wrong. I didn't do it wrong. Look, I see you.
It's just recording all of your complaints.
You wanted me to.
I'm not, I'll never complain. I'll mess with this stuff. Sometimes.
Alright, guys. So, yeah,
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Okay.
They did.
in a minute.
Wait, let me see.
Guys? So the numerator and the denominator do both factors, nothing cancels. But looking at the stuff in the denominator, that's your first question. What's the domain? Everything that's in the denominator right now, chuck those answers out. So this is the correct domain, negative infinity to negative 4, negative 4 to 6, and 6 to infinity. Don't get the numbers mixed up. It matters that they go in order. So Maud, this is something that someone on one of the tests did. That's wrong. Like, big time wrong. This is saying negative infinity to 6, then negative 4 to 6. Okay, this was open, that was open, and then this one says negative 4 onward. Written like this, that's all reals, and this is wrong. So it matters that you get it in the right order. Why are they correct in saying there are no holes? Because there's no factor in the numerator and the denominator that matches, so there's no hole. Vertical asymptotes, once it's been reduced, which nothing reduced, the things that are left there are my vertical asymptotes. So the vertical asymptotes would be at negative 4 and positive 6. Not that one. Horizontal asymptote, why are they right that it's y equals 0? Bottom heavy. More x's in the denominator, it's going to be a y equals 0. Because I have a horizontal asymptote, I do not have a slant. Left and right end behavior, go to wherever that horizontal asymptote goes. X-intercept, how do we find the x-intercept? Set the whole function to 0. So this is 0, cross multiply, and I end up with, when is that 0? It's when this is 0, which is x is 3/2 and the y value is 0, with parentheses. Y-intercept is written backwards. When x is 0, all this stuff goes away. -6 over -24 is
-4.
positive 1/4.
Yeah.
So this will be marked wrong on a test. If you tell me it's 1/4, 0, when it's 0, 1/4, that's wrong. Okay? The other one, domain is right. Again, no factor top and bottom that equal. Vertical asymptote, that's wrong. What are they missing?
Y equals, or X
X
equals.
equals. Because if you say y equals, that's this line. If you say x equals this line. If you say 1/2, that's just a number, it's not an equation of a line at all. So the details odd matter. So, like, they matter. Again, it's bottom heavy, y equals 0. Slant asymptote, we don't have one. Left end behavior,
Yeah. It's to 0 and 1.
left end behavior as x goes to -infinity, function goes to 0. Right end behavior as we go to positive infinity, it also goes to 0. X-intercept, when does this equal 0? Okay, when does this equal 0? Cross multiply, when does -4 equal 0? It does not. Y-intercept, 0, +4, yeah.
Better.
Okay,